Yo guys, sorry, you already know that today I'm bringing you guys my battle for Week 7 of Division 2 of the PPL Season 4. This week we're taking on Ellie and the Accrington Stantler. We have not battled Ellie since Season 1 of the OG season of the PPL. So, I was really excited for this. Also, she has a pretty scary team, but I was pretty confident going into this game. You can see the 6 that she brought and the 6 that I brought. I will go do a quick rundown of my team since I did not make a team builder for this week. Tornti is Assault Vest with enough speed to outspeed, I want to say Roserade, unless there was something a little bit faster. I don't remember a lot of the other stuff that was on her team. Those are literally the 6 scariest mons that she could have brought. So I think Tornti has enough speed. It's modest Assault Vest with some HP investment and enough speed to outspeed. I think it's the Excadrill, but there could be something else. It wasn't for anything with the Crobat, or the Roserade, I mean. So I think it outsped the Roserade because it had a lot of HP investment. The Gliscor was a bit of a mixed set. It had mostly defense investment, about 20 speed to outspeed anything that would speed creep it. And it was a careful nature to make sure that I didn't get KO'd by Hidden Power Ice on an Excadrill, which could have been brought. Because Gliscor is going to be my main Excadrill. Switch in, I got a Choice Scarf Rotom Heat with enough speed to outspeed the Crobat. And I believe it was modest, Full Switch, Thunderbolt, Overheat, and Trick. A specially defensive leftovers Gudra with like Superpower, Flamethrower, Draco Meteor, and a move that doesn't matter because I don't remember it. A mostly physically defensive Slowbro, if not a fully physically defensive Slowbro with a Colbur Berry, Scald, Trick Room, Slack Off, Side Shock, the exact same set that I brought last week, except for specially defensive, or I'm sorry, physically defensive instead of the special mixed defensive that I brought last week. And Tapu Bulu is Choice Banded with Woodhammer and Hornleech and Zen Headbutt and Leech Seed because I didn't need a 4th move, but it's Choice Banded. Clefable, Crobat, T-Tar, Conkeldurr, Roserade, Excadrill are the 6 that she brought. So yeah, heading into this game, we're towards the bottom of the table, Ellie's towards the middle. I don't think there's anything else to say. If I missed anything, ask in the comments below and I shall answer. But besides that, let's go ahead and start with the battle. If you guys know how to tell what the leads are, then you saw because it's the first one that's listed, meaning that I led off with the Tornti, and she led off with the T-Tar? No, she led off with Clefable. Sorry. She led off with the Clefable, and I was thinking about going for a Sludge Wave, because I can attack what's in front of me. But she switches out, and because in her previous weeks she does tend to stay in, and try and do some scouting, I did attack what was in front of me, but then she switched into the Excadrill. I wanted to test if this Excadrill was Scarfed. If it was Scarfed, it would not be able to kill me with Rock Slide. The only way it could kill me is if it was a Life Orb. So I went for the U-turn, and she just goes back into the Clefable. So that's cool. I now go into Tapu Bulu because it is my biggest offensive threat. And I had to decide whether I wanted to go for the Woodhammer, the Hornleech, or the Zen Headbutt. I don't think I ever really considered going for Hornleech like at all ever in this battle. It always came down between Zen Headbutt and Woodhammer. So I end up hitting Zen Headbutt this turn, which I should have just hit Woodhammer because she switched out like 2 turns in a row now. And she's not just going to keep switching. Eventually she's going to like do something. So I do more than 50%, which was cool. But that was a little bit of a misplay, and I knew it about 10 seconds after I hit the button because I should have just Woodhammered. You know, she can't just switch out every single turn and expect to do something. She's going to have to do something eventually, and she did. She got up rocks, which sucks since I don't have any Hazard removal this week. So, we switch out into the Tornadus. Oh, I also kind of forgot to mention that I have a Gliscor on my team now. I should have probably gone over that. I forget what I dropped for it. It was something stupid. No, it wasn't. It was Donphan and Girder, and I got Gliscor. So now that we covered that in the middle of the battle, whoops, she went into T-Tar as I did something. Yeah, I think I switched into Tornti. I don't know, you guys were watching. Then I go for the U-turn because I need to test if this thing is Scarfed or not. It is not Scarfed. If it was Triple Berry, then Superpower wasn't going to do a lot. But she's Weakness Policy. I was terrified, but I went with my gut, and I was pretty sure that she was going for a Rock Polish. So I go into Slowbro, assuming that she's going to go for the Rock Polish and try to sweep. However, thankfully, not that I planned for this, but it does end up working out. I do have a way to not get swept by this, and that's Slowbro, because Slowbro has a Cobra Berry, which is cool, and I'm going to try and get the Scald Burn. That's the goal, but first I'm going to set up Trick Room. So, what's going to happen after all these animations, like, stop happening, she's going to go for the Crunch, the Cobra Berry is going to help me live that, and I'm going to go for the Trick Room. That way, when she inevitably kills Slowbro the following turn, I can send something in to finish off the T-Tar. So that is why I did this, and it stopped me from getting swept. So that is pretty great. And now I go for the Scald, and I was begging for the burn, though I guess I technically didn't need it, since Slowbro was going to die anyway, and I was just going to send something in to take it out. So as far as I know, it didn't matter, but I do go for the Scald. I do get the burn. Come on, game, keep up. You gotta keep up with me. You're going too slow. I burned her nipples, and now she's gonna crunch me. And Slowbro doesn't care, still has a stupid face. He'll figure out that he's dead probably in a couple months, because he's just not fazed by anything. I can go and pick off the T-Tar, and I figured the best thing for me was Gliscor, because I could guarantee the kill, and I could get my Toxic Orb going. So that's what I do. I go for the Earthquake, she stays in. I think she forgot about Trick Room. I believe she said she forgot about Trick Room, and that's why she was a little confused that I outsped, but I don't know if that changed her plan. I don't know if she was going to switch out if she knew she didn't outspeed or not, and that crit did not matter. So, with that being said, I got my Toxic Orb, hooray. She goes into Conkeldurr, and I realized that I'm screwed because I don't have anything to switch into this. I am very weak to Ice, I'm very weak to fighting types with Ice coverage. The main thing to stop that would be Slowbro, but I had to use Slowbro as my way to not get swept by T-Tar. And now because Slowbro is dead, I have nothing for this. And because Conkeldurr is really fat, there's not much I can do. I thought Trick Room was gone by now. I thought Trick Room only lasted 3 turns, but apparently not, and she was faster. I didn't realize that, and it doesn't matter too much. I guess the only thing I could have done is if I knew she was going for Drain Punch, I could have maybe gone into something like this, or T-Tar, or not T-Tar, Torn T, and then I wouldn't have died, and I could have saved Rotom for later, but yeah, I didn't see the Trick Room, plus I didn't know what move she would have gone for anyway, but I actually went for Volt Switch that turn, so I guess that would have changed some stuff, because I would have had to send in something. I go for the Wood Hammer as she sends in the Crobat. This critical hit does almost half, which is crazy, making me think that she's a physically defensive Crobat. So with that assumption, I can now make my plays accordingly, because stuff and things, but I'm going to have to switch out because Crobat's scary. A Poison move will still take me out, even without any offensive investment. I go into the Gliscor because I can take any hit, though I was pretty certain that it didn't matter because she was just going to U-turn back into Conk. And now that Rotom is gone and Slowbro is gone, she can Ice Punch every single time. There's nothing I can do to stop it, and yeah. So it's been 12 turns, and I already knew I lost this game. So that's fun. It's very fun to be playing a game that you know you're going to lose, especially when you come in thinking that you are, going to do way better. But yeah, so I sent in Torn T. I think it was a roll. If she was Assault Vest, which I think she was, this Ice Punch was a roll in her favor, but still. I was going to try and live the Ice Punch and then switch into this as she went for Mach Punch. But fun fact, I can actually live an Ice Punch from this range, but I couldn't live the Ice Punch plus Mach Punch. That's why I had to sack off Torn T. I didn't have to sack off Torn T, but I had to sack off something, and I just chose Torn T. Was it a mistake? Probably. I don't know. It doesn't really matter because this whole game is just one giant mistake. This whole team is a mistake. This whole whatever's a mistake. Crit did not matter. Zen Headbutt killed Crobat. So yeah, I went for the Zen Headbutt. She decided to switch in the Crobat, which was cool because T-Tar's down, which means I can Zen Headbutt on anything. The only thing that lives the Zen Headbutt is Excadrill, and to switch Excadrill straight in on a Bulu is pretty risky, so I can see why you would not want to do that. So I am going to switch out because my Roserade switch in is the one thing that I kept alive. That is Goodra. And she goes for the Hidden Power Ice, which is cool. Technician boosted, and especially defensive Gudra does not care. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm not sure what her item was, but it doesn't really matter. Because that did a lot of damage, but I get some health back with leftovers and the grassy terrain. And I am just going to go for a flamethrower because nothing on her team wants to take the flamethrower, except for the thing she sends in. Guess what it is? It's Concounter. Yay! So excited. It does nothing. It's pitiful. Pretty much confirming that she's a Soul Vest, I think. That's what it looked like from the calc. Maybe not. Maybe she'll something else. I don't know. I'll have to wait till I see her video. But either way, I just go for damage because I know she's just going to go for an Ice Punch. I either let this die or let something else die, but at this point it doesn't matter. What I'm resigning myself to is let her kill the Gudra. I come in with the Bulu, I take this out, and then I lose 3-0 because Roserade kills the rest of my team. If I kept this around, it still wouldn't have mattered because I would have had to sack something off to Roserade, bring back in Gudra. Gudra cannot 1v1 the rest of her team, so it doesn't matter. The closest thing that can maybe 1v1 the rest of her team is Gliscor, except for Roserade with the Hidden Power Ice. Ensures that that does not happen. So, I just go ahead for the Zen Headbutt and let this thing, kill this thing. And at this point, Roserade comes in, well, can come in and just beat the rest of my team. This dies to the HP Ice, I think. If not, it definitely dies to a Sludge Bomb. Gliscor dies to the HP Ice, but she goes into Excadrill. And I'm like, okay, I guess you want to get a kill with Excadrill, that's cool. But then she switches out into Clefable, which I don't get. I guess she was expecting me to switch to Gliscor. I think she was probably overthinking the rest of this. Like, she just had to go into Roserade and kill me. But Clefable lives on 1, doesn't matter. It actually lets me get an extra turn of Grassy Terrain, I think, or does it run out this turn? I don't know. It's too many animations. But yeah, we go for the Zen Headbutt, and she's... Oh no. Sorry, she's not resigned to anything, because she just goes back down to Excadrill, realizing that I'm just going for the Zen Headbutt. So, like I said, Excadrill is the only thing that can take the Zen Headbutt. At this point, she probably knows I'm banded. She's probably done a calc or two. And has realized that I'm just kind of resigning myself to the game because I'm ready for this to be over. This entire game was just one big bag of torture that I was not okay with. Ironhead, I don't live that, which doesn't matter because I would have had to get off like 2 or 3 more Zen Headbutts to be able to kill her. So it is what it is. I go into my last Pokemon, which is Gliscor. Earthquake is pretty obvious, but I guess she didn't want to risk something. I don't know. Or wait, she did. Oh, she sacked off this, I guess, just to make sure. I don't know. She could have, I guess, not risking a crit. If I got 2 crits on Roserade, I guess I would have taken it out if I was Scarfed. I'm not Scarfed, I'm Toxicor. I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses, but I really don't know. At any of these points, she could have just gone into Roserade and like ended my misery, but the misery dragged on for a couple extra turns, which I'm pretty sure there was some things happening like on her end, like she was interrupted and stuff by her family or whatever. So like I'm not like upset at her. I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, kill me, like seriously, because I was just ready because this whole game was dumb. Like it wasn't dumb for any reason other than the fact that I just feel like I let myself down. Ellie played great. There was no hacks involved on either end that really mattered, that changed the outcome of the battle. I was upset that I don't know how to count Trick Room turns, or I don't know how to look at the screen. I don't know how to build a team because I just keep losing. The transfers aren't really helping. Yeah, I was super weak to Conkeldurr. I was super weak to Roserade. I mean, every team's weak to Roserade, but still. I don't know. I don't know what I expected. Obviously, I'm doing something wrong. I wish I knew what it was because I feel like my thought processes are good, but either the team is just that bad, or I'm that bad, or a mixture of both. But basically, after this, I'm so frustrated. I'm so ready for this to be over. I don't know. I don't know. Just everything's so frustrating. Everything sucks, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do now. We can just play our last few games, get it over with. I made a transfer for next week too, Let's go the last one of the season, and we'll just see where that takes us. I don't know. Hopefully I'll get one more win, but at this point, I'm not expecting anything. We're like 2-5 with like a minus 13 differential. I don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter. We'll just play the rest of the season out, see how it goes, and hope for a better life in the future, because this sucks. So, I don't know, let me know what you thought about the battle. Tell me how much I suck, and we'll see you next week when, I don't remember who we play, probably Shroom. I think Shroom's next. It's either Shroom or Alex. I think it's Shroom, I don't know. You'll find out next week. Thanks for watching. Until next time, guys, stay sly.